Hello. Is my video on? Can you see me? Um, cool. So, thank you everybody for joining our I guess second community call. Yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and get started. We have a packed schedule today. Starting off by sharing my screen. Find this. Okay. Cool. So briefly just touching on the agenda. Let's see. We're going to just touch on, where can you find Truffle next? We're going to invite on some of their ETHCC winners. Talk about Web3.js updates, talk about Truffle's updates, and then give you kind of just a reminder of what live streams are coming up next. So in terms of Truffle IRL, you guys can expect us to see Truffle will be in Berlin in September. So for those of you who are in the Europe area, swing by. I'll be giving a ton, basically Truffle for understanding and securing your transactions, talking a lot about, I guess, more so the advanced features of Truffles for those mature developers out there. It's titled WTF is my smart contract doing? I'm pretty proud of that. Yeah, swing by if you're there. If not, there'll be a recording, probably go over it again in our next live stream. But otherwise, actually, the moment you guys all have been waiting for, I'm going to bring up our ETHCC Hackathon winners. So let me stop sharing my screen. And then I think that's all of them. Okay, hi guys. So these lovely people are incredibly intelligent, hacked away all weekend, and so graciously offered to come on and give their insight. Do you guys want to introductions? Starting with Mehdi, I guess.
Yeah. Hi, Emily. So first, I would like to thank you, for being for helping us debugging with Truffle when we did the hackathon. So for this hackathon, we did the debate tree, where we tried to solve the problem of low engagement in DAOs and community forums, and bringing also a decentralization into it. So that was our main focus. So we built debate tree for that.
Cool. And then I guess next.
So thank. Yeah.
Oh, I think were you muted? Oh, okay. I don't know. Cool. But anyways, do you want to get started with a demo, kind of what Debate 3 looks like?
Yeah, I can share my screen and show you the demo for sure.
Yeah. So basically, talk more about and to keep engaged, come up with an idea. Most engaged members tokens, and these tokens then able tokens will be.
And then from Debate 3, and I would like to present to you our hackathon.
Can you see my screen?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I'll start the demo. You can you all see the screen, right?
Submission for ETHCC 2020. What we basically built is a decentralized discussion platform for DAOs with a lot of features on top I will show you in a minute. We are debate free, we are already live and deployed. You can go and check it out there. So what are the problems we want to solve? With current Web2 solutions, they're first very centralized. And with that, I mean not only the content, but also like if you have some kind of reputation score or awards or even profile images, they're all stored on centralized servers, for example, in services like Discord. These services also face a very low engagement, and that's a problem at DAO, or basically every community has to deal with a lot. So people engage at the beginning, but then they kind of leave, and only like a few people are actually actively contributing. And we've implemented some nice incentivization mechanisms to face this problem. Works, I want to say that all our smart contracts are co-developed as well in Solidity and in Viper with Truffle. So check them out in our repository. They're all working. The first solution for the low engagement problem we had is like, of course, one-to contributions, and we minted some award badges with different on different levels. Like for example, we have a bronze award that gives you 5 points, and a silver and a gold. And those awards can be minted by moderators to good contributions, to good questions or good answers or whatever, basically. And those are then also used to calculate and dynamic on-chain reputation. So, but like this is kind of like we have already seen this, right? So we invented something even more interesting to like incentivize engagement for a longer time frame, and we did that by implementing reputation score over time if you're not collecting new awarding badges. So basically, if you like don't continuously go to the platform, make some good contributions, even if you have done so in the past, your reputation score is decreased and you lose basically reputation. And if you use your reputation NFT to show off your reputation in the DAO or in the community somewhere else, that's actually like makes you want to contribute more to increase your score over time. And of course, to solve the centralization issue, we did a very Web3 native thing, which is tokenizing everything. So we don't have a wallet garden where everything is stored on our servers, but instead we use like NFTs for the forum logo, for example, which we mint on IPFS if you create a forum. Then what we do, we have membership NFTs because our forums are access gated. So what you can do as a moderator or as an admin or whatever, you can provide membership to others by minting membership NFTs to various addresses. You could also like build, or that could be something for the future, like build like a relay contract that automatically mints membership badges for all holders of a certain DAO NFT, and even make this dynamic, by the way, or even introduce some merge features to that in the future. But right now, it's like a basic membership NFT you can mint for somebody else, and then he's able to access the forum. The third thing are the award badges I already talked about. They can be minted for good contributions and are summed up to a reputation score, which is also an NFT of its own, which is has a dynamic metadata, which is calculated on chain and also introduces this reputation incentivization algorithm I talked about earlier. Decentralizing data. We don't want to store all the information about the forum, all the metadata, and second, all the actual conversations on a centralized server, right? So we looked on two solutions for that. First, we use Privy to store some metadata of the forum, for example, the NFT URI, the name, and the slug and stuff like that. And in the future, this can be even used like to become a DAO hub where you store like private contact details of some DAO members because like it's very cool private that you have this privacy out of the box, and this really should be a default rather than an afterthought. For the actual threads and conversations in the forum, we used Orbis, which is like a decentralized social network, which was like a breeze to use, to be honest. Like you don't have to sign every transaction. You just sign in once, and then you can post, and it's all stored decentralized on Ceramic. It works like a breeze, and you can see it in our live demo later. We decided to be like multi-chain by default. We never concentrated on only one chain because we think that different communities demand different ecosystems. For example, a community about Cello wants to go on Cello network, and same for Kronos, Neon, Polygon, or Gnosis, right? Communities have their ecosystems, and they want to have their awards, their membership NFTs, and everything in their ecosystem. So we made everything multi-chain. It's also already deployed on all of these chains and working. You can go and check it out. It's even live. You can create forums on all of those chains. I will show that later to you. Yeah, actually, I will show it right now to you because now is the part where I demo some of the features. I will switch to the browser for that. Here, that's debate free XYZ. As I said, it's already live. Go there, check it out, try it yourself. We made a nice landing page describing some of our features, having a forum list to see all the deployed forums and their according networks. You can go there, create the forum. You have to connect your wallet first. I will do that. We use RainbowKit and WAGMI under the hood. Then you see here, I can connect to all the different networks, Kronos, Polygon, Gnosis, Cello, and Neon. They're all working. I will go for Kronos now. Upload an image. What do I go? Maybe I create a DAO for our product. Debate free DAO. Then I can add some moderator addresses if I want. And if I click deploy now, what it does is it first like mints the logo as an NFT via IPFS and NFT.storage. I have to. Then when it has finished doing that, the forum contract is deployed on a specific chain and is linked to the NFT URI, name, and so on. I confirm. Just takes a couple of seconds. Yeah, it worked. Like we are forwarded. We are in our new forum. You can see it here. This is shows me that I haven't any posts yet. In the bottom left, I can post something, new threads. In the bottom right, I see my current reputation and my awards. Obviously, it's all empty right now. I can show it to you on a different wallet because what you see now, I don't have access because with my other wallet, I basically don't own the membership NFT and therefore can't access the forum. It's token gated. I will change that. I will provide membership to my first wallet. It seems that's working. Now I change to the other wallet again. And yeah, I can still access the forum. So let's share me something new. Now, when I share a post, I'm logging into or assigning a message to be authenticated with Orbis with the current wallet. I do that. The comment is shared. Yeah, and the comment list, the threads are refetching, and you see that it's even sharing my ENS domain. I can also see the full thread if I have like detailed discussions with other comments. Other can comment and can look. It's like a thread system, right? And the nice thing now, if I switch back to the moderator wallet, what I can do now, oh, this is a nice post, right? Let's award the user for this. Click award, select the badge I want to give. Oh. What it does now under the hood, it means the NFT for the user and the reputation score should also be updated. You will see that when we change the wallet again after this has finished. So nice. Now switch back the wallet. Might be a little bug showing the actual award amount, but the score is computed correctly. I will see that's probably only a front-end issue because the score is correct at the moment. I'll fix that in a minute. So what else to show? We have the forum data stored on Private. We have the discussion data stored on Orbis. We have the multi-chain deployments. We have the awarding system. We have the thread view. That's it, basically. I will go back to the presentation. Go through the slides here. What are our future plans for the project, or what are obvious ways to improve this thing? As I already said, like we have this reputation NFT, which is dynamically populated with the score. We could also like add an on-chain inline SVG where we write the store in that, so you can actually have a nice SVG or image representing your reputation score. We could do something to create like soulbound tokens or like civil resistance with it, because like if you contribute often in a DAO or in a community, you get a lot of awards. That's basically a proof that you're like not pretending to be someone, but maybe you are, but at least you are a real human because you have a real traceable activity, and this could be computed as a soulbound. Then we could like integrate some things like airdrops for people with high reputation scores, or distribute DAO funds across all the members, and also of course leaderboards for top contributors and yeah, for top contributors. Thank you. That's it. Basically, go check it out. It's live on all the chains. We are Carlos, Dennis, Mehdi, and Piotr, and thanks for your time.
Okay, cool. That was really awesome. I'm like amazed every time I see it because you guys are. It's like when I was judging projects, yours was probably one of the most beautiful ones out there and like very feature complete, right? So, I think I wanted to bring you guys on as kind of our gurus of hackathon winning, because that's kind of the thing I'm most interested in. You build something really cool, like how do you do it? How do you create that success again? So, starting off maybe from like idea, right? Like, how did you guys think about what to build? Yeah.
Basically,
Okay.
it's like a day before. So for this idea, we already improved on it. The day before, we think we did a brain, and then we just on the final idea to work. Like I did front end, back end, Carlos back end. Yeah, it all happens to meet each other. Like yeah, it was a strong team, the strongest team, to be honest. Yeah. We didn't know each other before. So yeah, it's definitely like on Discord, it's great product with them. And it's actually like many teams, the presentation parts, like they focus mostly and the actual tech around it, and the presentation and the judge does pretty important as well. All humans, judges are also they're also judging like France, kind of.
Okay, cool. I feel like bits and pieces of that. I think everyone on the stream maybe has gotten like audio from you. I don't know how your connection is, but what I got was you guys formed a really strong team on Discord, and they're the most talented people you've ever met. And now you're all best friends, obviously, right? The second piece was I didn't entirely get it. I heard something along the lines of the other presentations were really technically focused, whereas I'm gonna guess this. I really liked your presentation because it really demonstrated, I think, like to an extent, like product market fit or like a very cohesive idea. Because like when you judge so many hackathon projects, it's a big mental toll, right? But I think when I saw your project, the first thing I thought was like, wow, if we could award like Stack Overflow kind of like these community support contributions like in this forum way, that would be, I think, a really valuable contribution. And so that's why like I really resonated with it. But I think to that point, like, were there any particular strategies you took for winning? I know something I have heard from people was like just targeting specific sponsored prizes, and organizing yourself around that, or um, I don't know if you did that, or you had any other kind of insight, or you think it's just like you guys got lucky meeting the smartest people at the hackathon.
I think it's like both. Also, we had some experience with hackathons. So, for example, Dennis is not here, but he was finalist at it global ETH online. So Carlos also, and the story is that like I was going to hackathons like in, for example, New York and Amsterdam, and I met with every time I was meeting with Carlos, but we never team up together. And this time we said, oh, okay, let's team up together and try to do something. And I think it was the right fit with Carlos and Piotr and Denis, yeah. And yeah.
Okay, cool.
Doing hackathons like also hacking many times can help you see like the best strategy to win also.
Yeah. Practice makes perfect, definitely.
Yeah,
I feel
for
like
sure.
part of it though is you guys are kind of young, maybe, so you have like the mental energy to stay on that lane. I always think hackathons are a cool idea, and then I think about having to like grind, and it just sounds so unappealing. So I really admire you guys. Do as many
It's a bit
hackathons as you can. Yeah.
no, but it's a bit tiring at some point, but it's not easy. Like you have to hack for 48 hours. Sometimes you don't sleep. So yeah, but it's a nice experience.
Yeah, for sure. I think one of the things that really interested me about your project, and I would love to get kind of your experience with it, is you guys did end up using Viper kind of to build your contracts. I have never actually built with Viper. That's on my kind of backlog of things I want to try. Just do you want to give any like thoughts on what the experience was like? How does it compare to Solidity? Actually, can you explain what Viper is really quick for those of us who like don't know?
Yeah, so Viper is like so Solidity. I think the Ethereum team or contracts are made with Solidity.
Right.
I think the first one was made with Viper, but they changed it. So Viper is like a language written like the name. You can see that it's like Python Viper. So you have the decorators, the functions like I can make a tutorial now, but like you have the decorators like in Python. It also was meant to be to have less attacks on the smart contracts, because with Viper it's the code is more human readable. So the audits, when they will be done on Viper, they will be easier than when they're done on Solidity. So that's the main purpose. Like, and also I was going through the compiling like with Truffle the contracts on Viper like just today, and I had some errors because Viper is now they updating the versions very quickly. So I was debugging at the end, it worked. Yeah. So now they updating the versions 0.33, 0 now it's 0.36. Yeah. So basically, that's but Viper has its pros, but it cons also. Like with Viper, you can't have modifiers, you can't have inheritance. So it's like
Interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a bit difficult also.
Oh, okay. Cool. Yes. That's great that you brought that up. Definitely we will take that feedback back because I want to build something with Viper and Truffle, so the Truffle team definitely needs to fix that for my purposes and your purposes as well. We are coming up on time for you guys. Is there anything else you'd like to share? Talk about your future projects. Are you guys going to be at any hackathons soon? And people should be like, "Oh, I need to work with like you guys to win the next hackathon." No, no future plans.
I think we'll be. I'll try to be in Bogota for
Oh,
DevCon.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you
Yeah.
hear me clearly right now? It's
It's
better?
still a little broken up, but
Okay, so
if you want to,
I just wanted to say that I will be in Berlin.
oh, really? Yes.
Yeah, I will be in Berlin.
Okay, cool. Come
Yeah.
say hi.
Definitely.
I feel like I'm not judging projects this time because I will be so biased into giving you the prize, obviously, because you guys are my best friends now. But no, that's really exciting. Yeah, definitely stop by, say hi. I'll be at DappCon as well if you're gonna be around for that conference. But yeah, also DevCon, we will have a presence. So conferences are really a great way to network, join hackathons, make friends in Web3, get alpha, everything. But yeah, okay. Thank you guys so much for joining on. I'm gonna bring on the ChainSafe people right now to talk about Web3 JS. So I will see you guys in Berlin and Colombia, I guess. Wow, that's amazing. That sentence came out of my mouth.
Thanks.
Okay, bye.
Bye. Thanks, Amy.
Okay, cool. So let's bring on ChainSafe. Okay, cool. Hello guys. You guys are here to present on Web3 JS v4. I don't have any questions for you guys because I guess you're giving a presentation, but we could probably just start with like introduce yourselves and then hop into telling us all the latest updates.
Yeah, definitely. My name's Mike Connolly. I'm the project manager for the Web3.js team. I've been with ChainSafe for so it's been exciting. I would say that my first venture into kind of on the blockchain space and with the company. So.
Hello, everyone. Yeah, as you know, my name is Junaid. So I'm working in ChainSafe as a engineering team lead for Web3.js project.
Okay, very cool. And everyone knows who I am. So if you guys want to hop into your presentation, feel free.
Yeah, let me show my screen here real quick. Well, I will. We'll skip this since we already did introductions. But just to kind of start off, give you a little bit of information about what is, Web3.js. Maybe not everybody knows, but in simplistic form, Web3.js is an Ethereum JavaScript API, which allows you to interact with a local or remote Ethereum node. I know it doesn't sound real exciting. I know with ChainSafe we have a lot of exciting projects. I go, wow, but maybe Web3.js it's not that exciting, but it serves such an important tool. With Web3.js, it allows users to retrieve user account information, send transactions, interact with smart contracts, and a whole lot more. It's a very useful tool within the Ethereum development community. Now, to give you a little bit, Web3.js has been around for many years, especially in this space. It's one of the older open source applications. It's had a little bit of a turbulent past, I'll say that. I'm sure some developers have been around for a while could say the same. There's been an open source application for many years, not one group or person taking ownership of it. There was a lot of broken releases. It's stuck in beta for years. It's an old JavaScript, at least the 1x branch. And broken TypeScript declaration sizes, bloated in a large file, and then there's a couple deprecated branches because they're not used very often. But come back into 2020 in the fall. That's where ChainSafe took things over. This is the first main company, especially a blockchain-based development company, being in charge of it. This is where we've partnered with the Ethereum Foundation to do this. So we've taken the lead on this and doing the whole rewrite, with the upcoming 4x branch and everything. And both all the tools, there's a lot of different tools within the Ethereum community and everything, but just one comment I have here from Infura, which is a very popular development application, stating that the Web3.js is the best for those who prefer the most used Ethereum JavaScript library that is all script library that is also maintained in Focus Firm. So pretty cool stuff. A lot of people dependent on this, so it's good that we're kind of taking charge and bringing this up, bring it up to speed with some of the other tools that are out there. For kind of our downloads, that you can find the Web3.js application, you can download it from NPM, which is a big part of the JavaScript community and helps support the developer ecosystem. Also, our weekly downloads, latest weekly downloads, a little over 600,000. Just for us, I know from when I've been tracking this with the team and everything, since ChainSafe's taken this over, we've pretty much tripled the downloads. So that's pretty good. We might have lost a little bit of ground with some other applications just because it's not in true TypeScript right yet. But we're making very good progress with the development community. And then there's over 4,100 dependencies. Now with the Web3.js team, just to kind of highlight who's all working on it at this time, we've had other people within the ChainSafe team that are still with ChainSafe that have worked on it. But right now, it consists of myself as the project manager, and then our development team, Junaid, who's on here, he's our team lead for the engineers. We have Wyatt Barnes, Alex Liu, Alexi, Nikos, and Mohammed. Some have been here for just a couple months and have contributed quite a bit to our 4x rewrite and everything. So kind of throughout, I'll say throughout the globe, kind of working on it. It's a little bit challenging with our time zones, but it's an energetic group, and we're kind of happy to be kind of getting further with the 4x rewrite. Now to talk a little bit about the future of Web3.js. This basically is what we're working on at this point. One of our main objectives, milestones, is to support that 1x branch. So that 1x branch is the oldest, most used of Web3.js. So we're here to maintain that. We've the community. We're fixing bugs. We fix the critical issues, but we're not creating any new development features. So we're just kind of maintaining it, keeping it stable, and because we want to support the large development community there. But while we're doing that, we're marching forward with our 4x rewrite, which is completely TypeScript branch. It's going to have a full 1x parity with new features in it that we've already started on. We have a new website, which is live now, the web3js.org. And what was very exciting this week is we had a couple delays, more than a couple, but we did get our first alpha release of the 4x. This was just 2 days ago on Wednesday. We did find, with brand new branch, we did find an issue. Junaid can speak to that a little bit more, but we fixed it real quick with a patch, so everything should be working with it now. With our alpha release, we have teamed up with the Truffle team to do some testing with us, which we're excited about. They're heavy users of it, and then anybody from the community can download it, implement it, give us feedback on anything. We're currently working on our beta release, just kind of an estimate, probably sometime Q4 of this year. We do want to connect with other big Web3.js users, other companies, developers, and getting feedback from it. And we're going to encourage, all of the community to test it. The more feedback we get, the better it's going and stronger it's going to be. After the beta release and everything, probably early next year, we should have kind of an RC release. Quickly after that, a full 4x release. So you can kind of checking us out on our GitHub account. That you can kind of see the updates there. I post my meeting notes and everything there. Kind of stay up to date on that. I'm going to turn it over to Junaid. He's the technical guy, so he'll talk about some of the technicals with what we're doing with the team.
Yeah, thank you, everyone, and thank you, Mike, for introduction of bigger picture of Web3.js. So yeah, I'll be adding some more details of our recent 4x alpha release. I've listed some of the major exciting features here, but these are not the only one. I will strongly suggest everyone to go into the 4x documentation and check out all of the new features that we are offering in our new 4x branch. So as you guys have heard from Mike, that our 4x is completely rewritten from scratch in TypeScript. So natively, it has full type support, which is exciting news for the TypeScript projects who want to use the Web3.js. And I want to dive a little bit more into this. With full type support, we are using Ethereum execution API specifications for interacting with the ETH node. So I can say like we are in compliance with execution API types. Along with that, there is exciting feature of contract types. Yeah. So anyone who is instantiating a contract and he can use the types feature by just providing the API of contract, and the types will be derived using the contract API. So we are using TypeScript 4.7, and our 4x branch is based on ES 2016 ECMA JavaScript standard, as you guys know. So yeah, the second feature I listed here is easy extensibility and high readability. So we have designed and developed 4x with the mind that in future it's easier to extend the functionality and offer the new features like inside our mono repo and outside of that as well. I just want to mention here that we are supporting and working on the plugin architecture. So if in future anyone want to develop more functionality by using our Web3.js, it will be much easier in the 4x branch. And as this is written from the scratch, so it's highly maintainable, readable. We have inline documentation and there are so many things for supporting that. Yeah, another exciting feature that we have is now each functions have data formatters, which is a very handy functionality, I will say, especially if someone wants to have different format of results. That user doesn't need to explicitly get result and then do the formatting on top of that. Users can just directly inform our each functions the result type that they want. For example, if someone is using get balance, he can just specify whether he wants to get it in hexadecimal or big int format, and Web3.js will do internal magic for like doing this formatting. And this applies to all of the ETH functions that we are exposing in our 4x. This is optional feature. Like by default, we are using big int for numbers and hex for byte data. So other than that, we have validation functionality using the JSON schema. Yeah. So in there were individual validation functions or like which we are not using in the 4x. We have validation functionality that uses the JSON schema provided and it operates on the provided data. So it's also a very useful functionality. So apart from that, there is a configurable behavior of send transaction. Users can pass some additional parameters and the function will behave according to that. One example is like user can pass the flag of ignore gas pricing and Web3 will not apply the defaults for gas. And other than that, there are clearly written specs of base wallet, base provider. So if, like, as you guys know, people can inject providers or wallets in the Web3.js. So if someone wants to implement his own provider or wallet, we have very clear specifications written in 4x. They can use those interfaces to write their own providers or wallets and use in the Web3.js. So as I mentioned earlier, these are just main highlights, but we have so much more in the 4x which will come. Yeah, Mike, could you for the next slide? Thank you. Yeah, so I will briefly explain the main restructuring that we did in the 4x at the package level. So we added a couple of new packages and removed some packages. The first one is Web3 errors, which is new in the 4x. Web3 types, Web3 validator. These three packages are the new. So in like Web3 errors, as the name suggests, it contains most of the errors which are raised in the Web3.js library. It's very useful. Like we have unique error codes defined for all of the errors that we are throwing in the Web3.js. So users can use that. Apart from that, we have all of the common types located in the Web3 types package, like execution API types that I mentioned earlier. Specification of base wallet, base provider, and other common types are in this package. Validator, as the name suggests, again, it has all of the validation functionality in that. For removed packages, we have removed Web3, BZZ, and SSH Swarm and Whisper package for now. And all of the other packages listed on this slide, those are removed, but the functionality is still there for 4x. We just have moved this functionality in other packages. But there is nothing to worry about. We have a very cool migration guide, which we will continue to improve. So if anyone is migrating from 1x to the 4x, there are very clearly written migration steps for locating this necessary functionality and using in the application. Yeah, so I will just add a couple of points apart from this. So our current 4x alpha release, most packages are unit tested with 80% plus coverage, and only selected packages are end-to-end tested. The minimum node version supported is 14, and we tested this on list of browsers. And I'll a little bit jump into the future release that we will be extending end-to-end tests to all of the packages. We will extend API documentation as well to all of the packages. We will definitely fix bugs that are reported by community. And we will be enhancing our testing infrastructure, like testing 4x build on more execution layer clients, browsers, things like that. So yeah, again, as the link was shared by Mike for our Web3.js. So I will suggest everyone to go and check our 4x here and share the feedback with us. Yeah, passing control back to Mike.
Just real quick, if you want to keep in touch with any of us, our Discord handle on there. Also, if you want to contribute to the Web3 project, I have our GitHub link, and then our link to our website, which also has a link to our documentation, but that's a direct link to there as well. So I think that's all we have, Emily. We're open for any questions or anything that you might have.
Okay, cool. I guess if we maybe I guess I have a question. Are there any like gotchas that we need to be aware of, like switching over? Like, are there any breaking changes? I guess is what I'm asking. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I can share. So yeah, there are some breaking changes. The 4x, mostly the functionality in 4x is 1x parity, but those breaking changes are documented very well on the Web3.js website. So it's also in the release notes and also like in documentation. So if everyone is migrating from 1x to the 4x, you can follow that guide, and yeah, it should be smooth.
Okay. Cool. I mean, we don't have any questions. I guess we can move forward. Thank you guys so much for coming on. This is exciting news. TypeScript's always a good idea. So, cool. I'll bring on now our Truffle presenters. So, see you guys.
Thanks, Emily.
So, we're going to start with Nick here. I'm really excited about what he built recently. If you guys are excited about the HardHat Truffle collab, but only on the truffle side. But yeah, okay, Nick, go ahead. Take it away.
Hi, thanks, Emily. Yeah, well, it's not just on the truffle side. Patricio Palladino has
Did he?
some great advice on how to like work on this integration. Well, you should share my screen. Is that?
Oh yeah, I need to. Okay, cool.
So I'll be showing off our experimental support for Truffle debug with HardHat projects. So right here we have a regular HardHat project. There's no kind of truffle config or anything. I'm just going to run HardHat node, as people usually do. Have that running. Now I can clear this. I can run Truffle debug and connect to that HardHat node. You going to work? You are going to work. So while that's starting up, I can do this. I can go and run npx hardhat run, and I'll specify that same network, and I'll just run my deploy script. And that's just going to deploy the contract. Since this is only a 5-minute demo, I'm not doing anything too fancy. But I'm going to grab this transaction hash. You can see that, as the normal HardHat features, we have some console logging here that appears in the HardHat node output. And did I copy that? I need this transaction hash. And I can load the transaction right here in Truffle Debugger. And you can see that we're now stepping into that deployment transaction. So just I'll give you some clear. Everyone knows what we're doing already. So yeah, you can see this is the contract. It's just a simple constructor. I assign a string variable and then I log it. And if you're not familiar, there are a number of commands for the command line interface for our debugger. We have normal stepping commands. We can look at all the variables, and I'll show you those momentarily. Let's just step into this. And you can see as we're stepping, you can see everything that's happening. And we can look at a variable with colon. We can look at all the variables, including solidity built-ins. If we had any contract variables, we'd be able to see those. Maybe you don't want to see the built-ins. We can hide them. But what's cool, or even cooler, is as we continue to step, we will actually be able to step into the HardHat internals for console.sol. And you can see here, like here's HardHat's console.sol. So you can get a pretty in-depth view of what's going on with your transaction, and hopefully that will help you figure out your problems sooner. Just show you the variables view here. You can see like the value of P0 is that string that I was printing. Yeah, that's about it. Not too much to show with this contract. Yeah, I'll warn again, this is experimental. There's already been a bug found that we're working on fixing, but we're hoping to make this a reliable feature of our tools for the future.
Very cool. This is super exciting. I don't know. Co-opetition, collaboration. What's next? I guess you said bug fixes.
Well, bug fixes, yeah, but I mean, I think this kind of opens the door to like a lot of people are now looking at using Foundry, and it seems very likely that we'll be able to provide Foundry support for Truffle Debugger. From my perspective, I just want to get our tools in the hands of more users where they can be of service. You know, Truffle's had this debugger that provides quite a lot of functionality for many years, but it's required a Truffle project, and a lot of people, you know, people have different opinions on how their tools should act and what their tools should do. And I don't want, you know, if someone wants to use our debugger, they shouldn't be forced to have all the same opinions as Truffle and like forced to use Truffle. If they want to use a different tool, they should be able to and still have access to our powerful debugging capabilities. Right. Absolutely. Okay, cool. Thank you so much. I'm going to bring on Kevin for our last piece, talking about our latest VS Code extension updates.
Cool.
Which
Thanks,
I'm
Emily.
imagining should also be able to support HardHat.
Yeah, that's very much on
debugger. Right.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Cool. Can you see my screen?
Yes, let me bring it up.
Yes, all right. Yeah, cool. Alrighty. Yeah, I'll just jump right in. I've got a few slides from a previous presentation that I'll use for this. Yeah, so this will be a brief one. Really just an update of what's new in Truffle for VS Code version 2.5 that's imminently about to go out. Just in case you're not familiar with Truffle for VS Code, as the name probably suggests, it's a VS Code extension. Bunch of different features within it. We launched it back in April and have been kind of iterating on it pretty rapidly. Just to call out a few things that we have before I jump into the updates for the new release. Firstly, kind of productivity and workflow enhancements on the kind of left box there. You can see a bunch of the things there. We have this fancy sidebar, which really helps, I guess, with productivity and workflow, kind of giving, you know, more prompts and visual cues as to, you know, what you need to do and in the ways in which you can do it. Bunch of stuff in the command palette. Again, I'm assuming you're familiar, or people are familiar with extensions, but if not, you have a kind of big command palette that you can kind of draw upon for doing certain things, and so on. And by the way, I'll demo some of this in a moment briefly as well. We also have integrations as well. Right now, there's 3. We have integrations with Infura, Ganache, which is a very kind of logical one, and Truffle dashboard. But we have a pipeline of kind of deeper and both more and deeper integrations as well. And then lastly, to kind of build on what Nick was saying, and you were saying as well, Emily, we have an in IDE version of the same debugger. So it builds on top of the debugger that Nick just demoed, but actually brings it in line in the IDE, which, you know, makes it even better, I guess you can say, or at least, you know, kind of more feature rich, or visually feature rich. So yeah, that's kind of in a nutshell what Truffle for VS Code is. And what's new in this release. We release monthly, so, you know, it's not necessarily always, you know, huge things. So, but some pretty decent stuff in this release. And again, I'll show this in a moment, but just to call it out verbally first, we have a new walkthrough, which is a kind of native thing to VS Code, wherein, depending on the extension, you have like a kind of richer kind of getting started guide that's actually interactive, which kind of, particularly if you're new, either to an extension or new to, in this case, Web3. And I'll briefly show it in a moment. We have again, this is more of an enhancement. I say it is new, but when actually debugging, it allows you to now select which network you want to debug against. Up until now, or prior to this release, it was hard-coded against the development network, which is a bit of a limitation. And we also have a fix for debugging against the forked network as well, and a bunch of other kind of smaller fixes and quality of life things as well. So with that, I'm going to just quickly show it and just jump into VS Code. Shout, Emily, if you can't see my screen or you need me to slow down or anything. But yeah, so I'm in VS Code, got the extension installed. As mentioned, we have this kind of nice sidebar, which surfaces a lot of the functionality of the extension and kind of does help, or is designed to help with workflow and so on. Given this is a kind of very short demo, I'll kind of gloss over it and just show the things I mentioned. So the first one is this walkthrough, and if I click down and scroll down, you can see it here. So what this is, kind of already mentioned it, but just to kind of show it in action, it's kind of like, think of it as a kind of README that's both a bit more visual and actually interactive as well. So as you can see here, how to explore the commands, and then this pops up the command palette with the truffle prefix kind of auto-populated, so you can go, obviously just see all the commands that we provide. Creating a new project, again, same thing, but again, it's interactive, so you can actually just tells you where to go or helps you kind of jump straight into it. And the same throughout. So, appropriate content to help you kind of figure out what's going on. And really, we took the approach of kind of trying to just give you a little flavor of the life cycle that you'll go through, including debugging as well. So you can actually, and I'll show this properly in a moment, but so just come out of that. Cool. Yeah. So that's that. Designed to definitely help, and particularly again, if you're kind of new to either this extension or new to Web3. So the next thing to show is actually indirectly we'll be showing the debugger, but was that feature of where you can now select the network that you want to debug against. So to do that, I'll actually create a new network and a new Ganache instance. I'll create a forked instance of mainnet, latest block, and I'll create it on just, I think I've got something running on, been testing some stuff out. So a bunch of ports already in use, so 8549, and then I'll call it mainnet. That pops up down here, just make sure it's running. And then you can use this little broadcast icon to deploy it. Let's do that to see the output in the output channel down here. So it should just take a moment. So that's done. And then now when we debug, prior to this, it would have just assumed you want to debug against the development network. Now we actually have a kind of interim drop-down list wherein you can actually select the network. So I've deployed it against the mainnet fork just now. And then, just to build on what Nick mentioned, wherein, on the CLI truffle debug, or in the case of HardHat, kind of same thing, and then you paste in the transaction hash, this actually gives a reverse chronological list of all the transactions that have been sent to this, in this case, this Ganache instance. Obviously, it's just the two constructors as per that deployment. So I'll go ahead and just show you that in action. And then, yeah, as mentioned, kind of same as the earlier demo, but this time directly in the IDE, which is really, really nice. And I guess as a byproduct of what I just showed, this was actually debugging against a fork of mainnet that we deployed the contracts to, and there was an issue with that before related to the logging. It was kind of just basically not working very well before. So that's the quick demo. It's keeping it short because we haven't got much time left. Just back to the slides. So what's upcoming in 2.6 and beyond? Just a kind of little list of things that are either actively being worked on or will be, coming very soon. One is the logging itself. So, supporting being able to show stuff console logged, and a truffle is a bit confusing around naming, but actually a truffle console tab as well that's kind of mounted, so you can actually interact with your contracts via that. So that's something that's in development right now. Most likely would make it out in the 2.6 release. An improved user UX when creating a new project. You might have seen that dialogue that just popped up. It's a little bit clunky right now, so we're going to really make that a lot richer when either creating a kind of new vanilla project, unboxing a truffle box, or just other sources of projects as well for sample code and so on. Another one that I know Nick is very keen on is fetch external. So if you're not familiar with that, it's a flag that you can pass into the CLI debugger right now, alongside a transaction hash and a network, and it will actually, and this can be for a project that you don't have the source locally for to have the local source, and it will actually go off to I think either Sourceify or EtherScan, pull down that source and allow you to debug it. Right now, that's only a CLI feature or CLI debugger feature. It's something we want to bring to the IDE. We've had a couple of users ask for that as well. And then lastly, I mentioned Scribble integration here, but more broadly, just security lifecycle integrations. That's something we're really starting to lean into as well. So yeah, lots in the pipeline for the extension. Oops, I didn't mean to come out of my slides there. Last one, if you want to try it out, you can either go to, I think it's marketplace.vscode.com, I think, search Truffle, or probably the better way is to do it directly in VS Code. Just go to the extension tab, search Truffle, and you should see the equivalent of this splash screen where you can install it. And then lastly, if you want to get involved in any capacity with contributions to the extension, we have some good first issues. Obviously, if you find bugs or have ideas for features, we'd love to hear about those too. You can just see the GitHub repo URL down there. Cool. So that is it. Back to you, Emily.
Cool. Okay, so I think I'm just gonna get into like next. That was awesome, Kevin. Walkthroughs are always great, especially for beginners. So it's a feature. So I'll start my screen. See you later. Cool. So what's upcoming next? So this is a community call. So we held off on our Web3 Unleashed series. We'll be starting it again in 2 weeks because I'm going to Hawaii next week. But when I'm back, we'll be going over how to build an NFT rental marketplace. I'm really that we'll be integrating our NFT rentable NFTs we had implemented in Web3 Unleashed episode 2. So in preparation for that, if you want to go through the rentable NFT example first before diving into our live stream in 2 weeks on a Thursday, I highly recommend, because I'm only going to briefly touch on implementing a rentable NFT itself. After that, 9:15, I'm actually going to be in Berlin, which is really awesome because the founder of Gelato, Hilmar, is also going to be in Berlin. So we're teaming up to do a smart contract automation talk, tutorial, whatever, together in person. So it's not going to be 2 screens. We'll see how we'll fit both of us on one laptop. I'm not sure how that's going to work. After that, the week after that, if you guys are familiar with Live Peer, they're doing some really cool stuff with decentralized streaming. We'll be talking with one of their co-founders, Yondon. And then after that, another community call, which happens once a month at the end of the month. We'll be going over and like other cool, fun things that have happened. And then kind of what you guys want to see next. Obviously, please let us know. I have a huge backlog of stuff, but always open for new suggestions. And I guess finally, just thanks everyone for joining, or whoever is rewatching later. Just keep up to date with all of everything we're doing. Please fill out our feedback form if you want to get like a newsletter update, or sorry, not a newsletter, reminder notifications of like when our next Unleashed series are happening, like resources linked during those episodes, as well as just like notifications of what's coming up, and reminder emails. Please head over to this link over here. It's a link of links, of which the top one should be our feedback form. But yeah, otherwise, thank you so much. We are 3 minutes over time, as always, because we're always overtime, but it's less overtime than last time. But yeah, okay, cool. I'm going to say bye. We're ending it here, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your day.